Hello and welcome to the second episode of the GCSP COVID-19 Crisis webinar series on global crisis, global risk, and global consequences. My name is Jean Marc Rickli. I'm head of Global Risk and Resilience at the Geneva Center for Security Policy. The topic of today's webinar is the impact that the crisis, the COVID crisis, will have or is already having on the Middle East. But before I start, let me just introduce you to what the Geneva Center for Security Policy is all about. We are an international nonprofit foundation physically based in Geneva, as you can see on the screen, in Switzerland. And we are comprised, our Foundation Council is comprised of 52 states, including all the permanent member of the Security Council of the United Nations. The GCSP mission is to promote peace and international security, as well as prepare and transform individuals and organizations so that they can create a safer world. The values we promote are impartiality, independence, and inclusivity. We have a network, extended network of global experts, as well as an alumni community of more than 8,200 people. This week's topic has been chosen because the GCSP offers executive education, among others, with also research, as well as public discussion and innovative fellowship program. And so this topic has been chosen because we are running a 9-month course executive master's program called LIS, Leadership in International Security. And this week's topic module was on the Middle East. So we are aligning the topic with this course. If you want to know more about our LIS executive program that is conducted in conjunction with the University of Geneva, feel free to check on our webpage so that you can register. Today, it's my great pleasure to have a very distinguished panel of different experts, as you'll see, that will address different issues, the impact of the COVID-19 crisis on the Middle East. We have Professor David Duroche from the Near East South Asia Center for Strategic Studies at National Defense University in the United States. My colleague, Mark Fino, head of arms proliferation at the GCSP. Micheline Ishay is a professor at the Coburn School of International Studies at Denver University. Dr. Karen Young, she is a written scholar at the American Enterprise Institute in the United States. And a special welcome to these two women because they woke up very early this morning on their timeline to be with us this afternoon. Then we have the Dr. Christian Curtis Ulrichsen from the Baker Institute for Public Policy at Rice University, United States. And finally, Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim Irfan, who is a senior advisor at the Diplomatic Dialogue at the GCSP. Last week, when we had our first webinar, we were approaching 1 million infection and about 40,000 people had passed away. Today, we are approaching 1.5 million infection and almost 89 people have passed away in the world. The center of the pandemic is in Europe as well as the United States, but the Middle East has not been immune to the proliferation of this pandemic. As a matter of fact, Iran has been the most affected country currently. And as of this morning, in the MENA region, 81,000, close to 82,000 people have been infected by the disease, with Iran scoring the most, followed by Israel and the GCC country, the Gulf Cooperation countries. What is peculiar with this crisis in the Middle East is that this crisis combined as well with a crisis in oil production that started early May. And as you'll see in a few seconds, this crisis has been led, the oil crisis, by disagreement between oil producers. And we have seen a dramatic fall of the price of oil down to almost $20 a barrel. So the Middle East currently is facing two crises, a global health crisis as well as an oil crisis, oil price crisis. These have tremendous implication for the economy of this country, especially those who are producing oil, because they obviously rely a lot for the economy on these assets. But also the oil producers are actually employing a lot of workers from the region. So these two crises combined, have a potential to drastically change the power relationship in the region. And on top of that, the traditional geopolitical dynamics and rivalry have not disappeared. To the contrary, last week there was a missile attack on Saudi Arabia. Conflicts in Syria, in Yemen are continuing. So today, the idea of this webinar is to talk more in details about different aspects of this very complex region that is affected by very complex dynamics.